Hey there, Squid Army, how's it going? For today, I want to talk about Enigma Jewel and how good I think it is.
You can join the Screw Army by subscribing.
Alrighty, so Enigma Jewel is almost a blue soul ring. That's what I've kind of been calling it and saying to people. It enters the battlefield tapped, so there's that slight downside, but people play the 3 mana tapped Worn Power Stone, so, you know, this is a lot better than that, obviously. You can only spend its mana to activate abilities, which is a big downside, but still, it could be worth looking at. And then you can effectively exile it with 4 or more other permanents and transform it onto its other side with all the other permanents and such. And it gains the ability of each exiled cards used to craft it, and you can activate those ability only once per turn. Whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, you copy it, and you may choose new targets for the copy. So effectively, you like non-mana abilities like tapping it for mana and whatnot, you can only do once, but every other ability you get an additional copy of those abilities. So yeah, like, that's a lot of stuff that you can potentially do with it, because you can do so many things when it's transformed into its other side and such. So there is a lot of hoops and things that you could exile with it. So probably too many combinations to probably figure out what you can really do with this side. But just the face side, like again, like, it depends what you're gonna draw or what you're gonna get into. But again, that's still pretty good. Still, it can pay for its own craft ability. So it's not bad, but still, like, you want to be in a deck that's really about activated abilities and such. So that this can actually do a lot of work for you. And it's just super strong in those style of decks that are doing that kind of thing. Like, actually, this with Kinnan would be freaking dumb as heck, because, like, Kinnan gets it to tap for additional mana, so now it's basically, almost Black Lotus, but it's 1 mana and enters tapped. That you can only spend it on mana abilities or whatever, but still, like, with Kinnan, you've got that free outlet to dump all your mana into, so yeah, there is that. And there's a few other commanders that obviously have activated abilities here and there, and there's a few decks that want the cost reduction from the creatures that reduce mana abilities and such, but this helps you out with those mana abilities as well. Obviously, Sol Ring's pretty good for that as well. So it would fit into some of those decks that are already running a lot of, like, the other effects to reduce your the abilities costs and things like that. And it is mono blue, so it can go into a lot more kind of decks as well. So I could see it seeing play in as many decks as that sort of stuff. At least because it does a lot of the things that you kind of would want to do, and then it's a good mana rock that helps you do what you're trying to do. And then, like, later on, maybe you're like, well, if I make all these things into one thing, then it's like doing a whole lot all together all at once. But also it sort of helps you do certain things that, like, I kind of need all these things to be together and all at once or whatever. It kind of helps you, like, and it kind of hurts you as well, because now, like, they don't have to just, board wipe. They only have to destroy this one thing that's all the things together or whatever. But yeah, like, and you can only do this as a sorcery, so you can't really dodge removal. And it is a lot of mana to craft all the things, but when you're finally at that 8-9 mana or whatever, it's like, well, that's all right. But again, it's kind of like, well, take 2 of that mana off, because it's basic 7 mana, because this produces 2 of that mana for itself. So, that is there. So, but anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much my thoughts on it. It'd be very good in the very niche decks that it would be good in. It's certainly not that amazing in any other decks. Maybe there are some other decks that it could go into, maybe for like flashback decks, because that's technically an ability or whatever, and things like that, and such. So there are a few decks that are out there, like obviously like Kenrith the Return King. Like, he's just a commander that has a bunch of activated abilities, so you're probably wanting like this for all of any number of his activated abilities. It's a cheap artifact that you can run, and like if you're in a blue deck and you're running Worn Power Stone, even, like, I would take this instead of that most of the time, because like even if it's not going to tap for many abilities, like, I don't know, like it just seems like a lot better, because like just like a small amount of activated abilities, and it's way better than that already. So yeah, I don't know, but any deck that has that idea of like, or like especially those decks that are kind of like already trying to reduce the mana costs of their abilities, and you're running that instead of this, just put this in instead. Even though it is tapped, it's 1 mana, so it's 2 mana cheaper. So, and it does a whole lot more later on. So definitely worth the investment there. But you guys can always let me know, as I said in the comments. Hope you've enjoyed any which way, and hope you'll join me in more.